Welcome to Climate Rescue Capitalism. Today, I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation that I created to help me better explain this concept of climate rescue capitalism. So let's begin. Okay. And actually, I'm going to pitch this to a documentary film producer if you know someone, because this is how this idea gets out there. So, all right, again, the idea is called Climate Rescue Capitalism, using product profits to fight climate change. And it could be either a full-length documentary, or it could also be a shorter film. So now, if you want to learn more about it, you can just visit Climate Rescue Capitalism blog at wordpress.com. I've got a paperback on Amazon, Amazon Kindle version, digital 99 cents, and it's also available as an audiobook. Again, if someone were to create a 5 to 10 minute virtual, video that goes viral, that would be an excellent way of presenting this. I think it might do the job that, equally as well as a full-length documentary. All right, so you want to understand that I'm here to give you this idea, not sell you this idea. Make the film, make as much money as you can, and you'll probably make a lot of money on this because it's a powerful idea. All right, yes, I'm ahead of myself. All right, so yes, you do it right, you're going to make a lot of money. I mean, Al Gore made An Inconvenient Truth in 2006 for $1 million. It grossed $50 million at the box office. That's not including DVDs and all. And, because basically what you're doing with this film is finally getting us started on fighting climate change, you would probably win an Oscar and a Nobel for your film. All right, now producing this film is not going to be difficult. The idea is very easy to present, as I will show you. And that's why, because of this, because the idea is not complicated, you'll be able to create this film in under 6 months. It really shouldn't take you long to do this. All right, now this film is not just about our world finally getting, finally acting on climate change. It's also about helping young entrepreneurs earn a lot of money, earn salaries even exceeding $1 million. And we're going to get into that later, but it's not just about doing good to fight climate change. All right, so if so many of us want to fight climate change, why isn't nearly enough being done? Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. There are rich people throughout our world, in every country, that bribe our politicians to do as little as they can about climate change. All right, now, this is the important point you need to understand. How do they get this money to bribe our politicians? They sell us products. They sell us products and use the profits to buy our politics, so they can stay in control and determine what doesn't happen with climate change. All right, so this is, this is the way it works. That they basically make the money by selling products. Now, here's something you have to understand. When we are fighting climate change, those of us who care about it, we're basically relying just on donations. So if they're making so much more money than we can attract through donations, it's no wonder that we haven't been able to compete with them. That's the reality. All right, I want you to take a minute to read this question. I'm going to read it out loud for you. If your supermarket offered new food products that were equal in price and quality to the products that you now buy, and you knew that 100% of the profit from these new products would be donated to the cause of fighting climate change, would you buy these new products? Okay, so again, if you went to your supermarket and there were these new products, you're not paying any more than you're paying for the products you have now. The products are equal in quality to what you're buying now. And you knew that 100% of the profit from these new products would be donated to fighting climate change. would you buy these products? Okay, now I asked 50 people that question. I stood outside of a supermarket and I asked them to read that question. I didn't want to influence them in how I asked it. So how many of those 50 people do you think said yes? 44. Now, I mean, if you know anything about marketing, the marketing of products, you understand that even a 5% market share is, ensures success. So we're talking about an 88% market share that 44% response rate signifies. And imagine how dominating this 44% market share would be in virtually, pretty much any market that you can sell a product that's equal in price and quality to whatever is out there. All right, so let's say people say they will buy it, but let's say only half of them, or only like 20%, or even only 10% of these people end up buying these products. Let's say that's the real scenario we're looking at. Well, like, again, as I said before, just even if they get a 5% market share, they are going to succeed in virtually any supermarket market. All right, so that is what climate rescue capitalism is about. It's about empowering us to fight climate change at no personal cost through our everyday shopping. All right, you might be wondering, how is a business going to stay in business if it's giving all its profit away? All right, good question. I'm not going to give you any theory on, well, it'll work if you do it this way. I'm not going to ask you to speculate or offer a prediction that it might work. In 1982, the late actor Paul Newman created a company called Newman's Own. Since then, he has donated 100% of his profit, not just to fighting climate change, to thousands of different charities. All right, now a little history about his company. He started it with his neighbor, Alex Hotchner, an author. The two of them had absolutely no food marketing experience. Okay, they had intended to spend $40,000 to market the product. They ended up spending only $20,000. In today's dollars, that would be about $50,000. All right, they began with only 4 employees, Paul Newman, Alex Hotchner, a part-time bookkeeper and a part-time secretary. They had absolutely no overhead. All of the manufacturing and distribution was outsourced. They conducted their taste testing in-house. They didn't pay for that. They didn't advertise. They held 2 media events to promote their products. All right, now these are the products. There's over 120 of them: cookies, dressing, mints, olive oil, pizza, salsa, sauce, snacks, spices, 116 products. Okay. Now, since '82, Newman's Own has donated over $550 million to, again, thousands of charities. That's just one company. Okay, so now imagine hundreds of new companies selling us thousands of new products to raise the money we need to fight climate change. Imagine the billions of dollars these companies would earn to fight climate change every year. All right, now let's go back to the politics. The people who don't want us to do anything about climate change give their candidates $10 million. We give ours $30 million. Our candidates win. We finally take serious action on climate change. All right, now ask yourself, how else can we overcome the money that is stopping us from getting serious about climate change? What alternative do we have? I mean, we have one alternative. We can get money out of politics. And beginning in 2023, after the Democrats win by landslide margins this November, that will be what we have to do. But this idea can help just swing the tide, so that we're finally doing something. All right, so now let's get back to the businesses. I talked about 6- and 7-figure salaries. How does that work? All right. All right, so I want to, all right, we got to start with your film. All right, you make your film, you know, it's watched by millions and millions of people throughout the entire world. You know, it's on Netflix, it's everywhere. Everybody knows about this climate rescue capitalism idea. All right, so what happens next? All right, like let's imagine two partners launch a company called Climate Saver. It's a climate rescue business and it starts selling products. It doesn't matter what the products are. All right, that first year, Climate Saver raises $1 million for the fight against climate change. So that's in 1 year. All right, so like now, you need to understand something about how the not-for-profit industry works. Basically, you know, not-for-profit industries, they solicit donations, right, their revenue, and then they provide services. So they've established for decades that there's a ratio of 80 to 20%. 80% of the revenue that not-for-profits take in go to providing services. 20% go to their operating expenses, like salaries, rent, things like that. Okay. All right, so like if they're giving away $1 million the first year, they're each earning $100,000 in salary. You know, that's their first year. Okay, it's not a bad salary for first year. All right, now, but they get smart. They bring in 2 digital marketing mavens. In their second year, they're able to raise $5 million that they give to the fight against climate change. All right, now consider you've got the 80-20 donation to operating expense ratio. It's now allocating $1 million for their 4 salaries. They split it 4 ways. If they want $250,000 each that second year. So, all right, now let's compare that with Newman's Own today. Newman's Own is bringing in $11 million each year. So 20% of that would be $2.2 million. So if you split it between, let's say there are 4 owners of this company, now their salary goes up to $550,000 each year. Okay, and then like, you know, eventually it's very reasonable to believe that they will be raising over $20 million a year fighting climate change, you know, with their products. And that's where their salary would jump up to over $1 million a year. So you can make a lot of money doing, creating and running one of these companies. A second model is like, you can tell a company, listen, we have a plan to basically compete with you in the marketplace by selling products. And we believe that our products are going to like dominate your market. So I have a proposal. Let's take your company, your products, and let's have you adopt this climate rescue capitalism model. I will work with you. You know, we will like double, triple, quadruple our revenues for your company. And then basically, so what I'm doing is the existing companies can transition to the profit donating model. That's, you know, you already have a company in place, you know, you just shift it to a different, you know, advertising business model. All right, so, you know, climate rescue businesses will be created by people just to do a lot of good, not to make, you know, the 6- and 7-figure incomes. So like not-for-profit organizations, climate activist organizations, celebrities can all, you know, create these companies, not to make money, but to do so much good while doing that. As a matter of fact, UNICEF has generated over $1 billion just by selling greeting cards. I believe they started in 1948, but again, just greeting cards, that tells you the potential of this marketing model has. Okay, now celebrities would be ideal climate rescue business owners for important reasons. Celebrities can easily afford the $50,000 in startup costs. They would be perfect spokespeople for their climate rescue companies and for the concept of climate rescue capitalism. All right, now imagine 20 to 30 of these celebrities staging a worldwide media event to introduce their first product. Each of them has decided on a different product. They're not going to compete with each other. Somebody can be marketing salad dressing, another person can be marketing tomato sauce. You know, I mean, they each have their product, and they launch this worldwide, probably rock concert, music concert event, you know, live all over the internet, to launch their first product. Imagine the publicity that they will be generating at no cost really to them with this one event. Okay, so celebrities, because of that, would be very eager to market climate rescue products. Because this is something, this concept is hugely popular with the public. They like this idea of being able to go into a supermarket, buying a product, and doing something good rather than making simply rich people richer. So celebrities would really, really gravitate to this opportunity to raise their image in the eyes of their public. Okay, not only that, you know, many of them would probably be very, very glad to appear in your film, to help you explain to the worldwide audience what climate rescue capitalism is about and how we're going to change the world with it. All right, that is climate rescue capitalism. That's how it works. That is how we need to retool capitalism to fight climate change. All right, and that's the idea that whether it's a 5 to 10 minute short film or a full-length documentary, that's what we're introducing to the world. All right, just a few side points. The first is very important. Imagine shifting from like the supermarket model to online marketing. You know, you're on Amazon, you're on all the major online retailers, and so basically you're worldwide. Your customers are worldwide. Now imagine you go to Amazon, and you all know about the Prime, you know, membership button. You know, it's just show me products that are under that Prime program. Imagine a show me climate rescue products button that limits your search to only products sold by these kinds of companies. And this, you know, Amazon can do this, eBay can do this, any online retailer can do this. Okay, another thing you want to do is, you want to protect the integrity of this whole industry. You know, you don't want people creating companies saying they're going to donate all this money to fighting climate change and then keeping it for themselves. So basically, you want to establish watchdog organizations that audit, you know, that basically keep an eye on these companies, that have access to their financial records. This has to be completely transparent, you know, and so like to build confidence that yes, this money is going to them. And of course, we can have the climate rescue organizations, research labs, and all that are receiving the money, you know, basically assure the public that yes, the money is going where it's supposed to be going. So naturally, you can also have, like, along with this, a website, an official website where shoppers can go and make sure that the product that they are considering buying is listed among those that have been vetted. You know, this website will be just like watching all of the companies to make sure that they're all legitimate. All right, so imagine 5 years from now, climate rescue companies are selling products throughout the world. And then people, actually this will happen, you know, in a year after this starts, people will realize, wait a minute, the same business model can be used to fund medical research, poverty reduction, education, and essentially every other underfunded cause that we value that has strong public support, that people are glad to buy their products rather than the products of some anonymous rich person in order to better educate people, cure diseases, just really create the kind of world that we want. All right, what your film would have introduced to the world is a sustainable capitalism that works for everyone. It allows us first to finally get serious about climate change. No longer would the people with money be calling the shots. But again, besides that, it would just allow us to create a much happier world. All right, so that's the PowerPoint. Yeah, let's do a bit of review. So this idea needs a documentary filmmaker to create either a short 5-10 minute video clip or a full-length feature film that explains to the world that yes, we can finally get serious about climate change, and this is how we do it. Again, the idea is that new companies are created, and celebrities would be the perfect people to create these companies. And they offer us products, the kinds of products we ordinarily buy, our grocery shopping, our clothes, whatever it is. You know, as long as they can produce a product of equal quality and sell it at an equal price as what's out there, they could succeed. They will succeed, you know, grandly. So, and that's what this is about. It's about empowering us as consumers, as shoppers, to fight climate change at no personal expense, because we're just basically going to buy what we're going to buy anyhow. So we basically transform our capitalist system into a stronger democracy. Every time we shop, we're making a vote. And yes, there could come a time when we have a dilemma, like, am I going to buy my salad dressing from a company that finances the fight against climate change, or that finances research, you know, against a major illness? You know, so we will have these kinds of choices, but imagine how much better our world is going to be when that happens. All right, let me address you as a filmmaker. This is your opportunity. You know, if you know the filmmaker, send them the link to this episode. It'll be on YouTube. And, you know, I really, you know, like if you're a really sharp person, filmmaker, documentary maker, if you know how to communicate, then yes, this idea can be presented in 5 to 10 minutes. So that would be one avenue. If you want, and the celebrities would join in that too. You know, this is another, you want to create a film and then get to know these celebrities, you know, like have people open doors to them. You get to know them, you get to have them in your film. That's also part of this. And naturally, there's no reason why you as a filmmaker can't team up with other, you know, people to create your own company if you wanted to. But the idea is, like, you create this film, and you know, you will, I mean, the film will be seen all over the world, you know, whether it's a short video or a feature-length documentary. It's going to be seen by, I would guess, over 1 billion people, you know. And you know, you'll have done something historic. You'll have awakened the global public to this way that we have of transforming our capitalist system from being an engine of making rich people richer to being the prime engine of our fighting climate change. So you'll be doing something historic. You'll win, you know, easily the Oscar for best documentary. I mean, you got to do a good job. And no, even if you did a mediocre job, you get the job done. You're getting that Oscar and a Nobel Prize, you know, Nobel Peace Prize for finally getting our world moving on climate change. Okay, that's the idea. Remember, a lot of people, it's not just celebrities and famous people who can create these companies. You know, you get together with 2 or 3 people, launch a product, you know, you know, launch it online. That's something I don't get into that much. It's not something that I'm as familiar with, but I know a lot of you guys are. So just you launch the product online. You're making $1 million your first year. Your salary, let's say you go alone, so then your salary is $200,000, and you just like if you're making $5 million the next year to give away to climate change, your salary goes up to $500,000 every year. And so, yeah, fine, you own one of these businesses, and you may not become a billionaire, but you'll become a millionaire, quite easily. So that's one of the great benefits about this concept. It's not just about getting not-for-profit organizations, celebrities, and rich people to start these companies. We can provide amazing opportunities, especially for young entrepreneurs, who are building the world that they are inheriting, that they're, passing on to their children. It's a great opportunity for them. Okay, so where are we now? Refer people to my book, Climate Rescue Capitalism, to this video, and talk up the idea. Who among your friends know documentary film producers, whether or aspiring, a film student, somebody in college, even somebody in high school? This concept is so non-complicated, so commonsensical, so simple to both easily understand and explain, that pretty much, any, I would say even a junior high school student who's got excellent video skills could produce this film. But that's, but that's where we are now. Get this idea into the hands of a documentary film producer, and like, what's your, he's gonna, whoever he, she, is gonna be eternally grateful to you for giving them the idea that allows them to win the Oscar and the Nobel and make millions of dollars. I mean, you go for, and perhaps you can make millions of dollars on the 5 to 10 minute video, short video, but you will be doing them a huge personal favor. They will be doing the world a huge favor, basically getting us started on ending climate change. All right, that's all we have time for. I'm going to keep explaining this, and soon, hopefully, we will discover that somebody's doing this, and then we'll advance our world so we can finally end climate change. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.